Um, Update. I came out of what they call like a that takes the water out from the homes and goes into the river, the Colorado River, eventually. We have them here and there all over the city. Everybody does their drainage ways, and there's a lot of not a lot, but there's a little bit. I bought some tools at that house I'm staying at. I didn't take my wheelchair. I drunkenly came down here and get some peace. There's mosquitoes everywhere down here. Only once so far, but what I wanted to say is that community ghost. That's me. I first hate crime bill started because I MIRC. It was before the internet came about. Went up of different channels and had all of the United States people coming to those 4 channels during the Matthew Shepard he was killed by 2 people for hate. So I united the United States and 4 channels. Those 4 channels hold about 100, so we had 400. Then we had people doing email. It started with my channel. It started with me and 3 others, and it grew until I called 15 people. My friend called about 100. Between he and I, and it was Escapade or something like that. And we came up with an idea of stop hate. Because hate is a crime. It should be a crime. Nobody should hate nobody and kill them because of how they feel that they should be. God should be the only one that decides that. If I can't commit suicide, nobody should be able to help you do that. So I figured I would join the hate crime bill lobbying. We got over 5,500 signatures in 24 hours, and that was before Shepard was put in the grave. We had 9 buses from Texas go and protect the grave site so that he could be buried, because there was people loitering and throwing slur words out in the community around somebody, a mother losing her child. The last thing you could ever think of happening. And then you have people screaming behind you saying, "Die, fag, you're going to hell. You're a fag family. You're a fag son." That wasn't right. So yeah, the hate crime bill came about. The ghost community helper. That's me. It was me. 20 years ago it was me. Hello, Ray, the fam. I hope you go back and listen to the beginning of this, because I really want to tell my story. It's been a long time since I've ever understood how this works. But that was another law, protective law, and that was equality. They couldn't discriminate against gays, disabled, whether they are gay, black, white, orange, purple, whatever it was. We got that bill covered too. Equality. The right to be whoever. That employers couldn't fire their people because they're gay or they're black, Mexican, Latin, American, whatever. They can't do that because of picking up something, looking at the face and dismissing you for that. That cannot be. The actions speak louder than look. People forget to see that. They see, watch, they don't do nothing until something's done. When it's done, then they look at it. The ghost helper, that's me. I moved to Wyoming, got a feel for it, because I had a dream. I'm going for marriage equality. I started in Wyoming, talking to people in Utah, talking to people in California, talking to people in New York, talking to Ohio, talking to Wisconsin, talking to people online, telling them I'm going through hell, but this, I wish we had this. I wish they would add this. I talked to everybody. I emailed everybody. I went through emails and chats and Grindr and apps, and I went everywhere telling them what a wonderful world this would be to be a ghost helper. To be a ghost helper. Country boy, ignorant. When I was 15, I was dumber than rock. I didn't know shit. Nothing. At 17, I didn't know shit. Nothing. I knew pieces because they had just put a bus service out in Del Valley, right outside Austin, East Austin. And I was so dumb. I didn't know how anything worked. I was like, okay, how do you pay on the bus? How does that work? Do you tell a man, can I get on and pay you later? No, that's not how it works. I had to learn, at that time I was learning BBS boards. They were real old. It was even before, this is where MIRC came in. These were, one person had a computer, and then he had people pay credits for you to go on there and chat and look at what was called Alright, sorry about that. You'll have to catch up with me. By the time I was about 19, 20 when I went ahead and started the first bill. The second bill came, even back to back, real close. And then I had a next goal, the marriage goal. So I moved up there the second time. I had a 9-year relationship, and I moved up there the second time to Wyoming. And I was digging fossils. I was excavating fossils. Again, the ghost, hidden helper. I didn't go to get paid. I didn't go because I was scared and wanted to run from people. It's because it was the ghost helper. The community ghost helper. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to help somebody. I wanted to make somebody's day, but I didn't want them to see that I had did that. When I was young, I was scared. I didn't want nobody's publicity because they'd come back on me and discover that I'm ugly and they don't want to look at my face. Or that I am to be judged because I was judged as a 4-year-old all the way up. I was pimped out by my family for their needs by my uncle. Nobody has any idea. When you are being abused and you are strapped down like an elephant for public instead of the wild. See, my grandparents kept me in the fence for play, and my bedroom consisted of a bed, a closet with my clothes in it, my shoes on the floor, and they better be tucked under. A bed better be made. And when you get a groundation, oh, screw me. That would be 3 or 4 months before I ever see anything again. But you know what? I looked out that window and I watched that one leaf grow. Then the one stem that had 6 leaves on it grow. And I watched a little tree that was 6 foot grow to a tree that was actually 40 foot tall before I left that tree and came out to be a ghost helper in my community. You see, I watched the root of existence get to become a pecan tree with nuts all over the ground. But you can't leave them on the ground. You can go out to my mom's house now where she stays and that she's quarantined to by her health and her mind. The whole yard looks like a battle axe lives there. There's more trees growing in everywhere than you could possibly imagine. The pecans are laying on the ground, and if you try to touch one of them, she's out there screaming and calling the cops. Wow. Wants to die at home. Direct burial. 400 pounds with a cyst about the size of a house, and I can't be there for her because she don't remember me. Or we get in fights and she don't like me because she wasn't made to be a mother. And that's how I guess my uncle came into the picture. And my grandparents started making a little money on it so they could take care of me, love me. God, what a mental screw. To the next part. I moved from Wyoming down to Utah. You know, Utah is an all-Mormon state. Now, can you imagine a gay man walking down to Utah and fighting for a marriage equality? Before the second bill was over, I want to let you know that I had already pre-told people before I left Houston to move to Wyoming. Now, listen back. 2005. Oh, I'm telling it. I'm trying to explain. Michael Bull, look me up on Facebook. In so many ways, I have been the ghost helper of the United States, and I've instituted out by my grandparents, my mother leaving me, my father getting, thrown in penitentiary for most of my life, and I mean, there's shit that I mean, really. I slept with my dad's wife when I first met my dad when I was 15, almost 16, no, 14, 15, 16. I almost was 16. She got me drunk. And then the neighbor, look, I'll stop now. I mean, this is not what I would call child, but you know what? As far as whether or not it's rated, I think that sometimes kids, and I relive the 12, 13, 14 stage every day. I have good ideas, but even kids back in that day had great wonders and great dreams, and they could imagine more than any other time in your life. You imagine, you have seen a lot of things, some books, you school, you things, being able to say, okay, I have a wonderful idea about how to change the school to make it this way. They led a team of people that believed in the same dream and the same thing that they were seeing. It led that to happen, to make the world a better world. Michael Jackson did it the best. He could always pull a crew together, and he used it with his music. I'm the ghost helper. Just like this creek down here. The ghost helper. Try to get him out of my blog. There's somebody walking by. It sounds beautiful. You can hear the water dripping down here. And to come down in here and clean it out. I got the rake. I got everything. I could sneak down in here in the evening or at night. I could pick up all them limbs. I'd take them over here to a trash can, or I see me a stick somewhere. I'll just take it over there and I'll put it over there in that stick. Or I'll bring it up here on the ground and I'll put it up here and the city can come by and pick it up. But I can help. It's a ghost community helper to give. I wronged somebody, or I had did something wrong. People that I've dreamed back. I got a titanium back, and sometimes they're starting to block my reception. I can put it back to my back, to that little bony. Then that weird. Just within 36 hours ago, I actually had tried to attempt to suicide. The officers tried to put a 24-hour hold on me in the hospital, and the hospital let me go at 3 o'clock in the morning home. And it took an hour to get the cab there, and it was staggering. People in my house and around me I've heard them talk about me in a way that, because I told my manager's boss what she was not doing in the house. Then she came running through the house. You could hear the pots and pans coming out and slamming on the stove. Well, then as the day progressed, as I was telling her boss different things, then the other two people, same color, I'm sorry, but I'm in Austin, and my mom like that way with her brother being white, living in that same room. These things are very bad when you get a group of people that finds out you have AIDS, that you're gay, or that whatever, and they want you gone. They really want you gone. And the only reason why I know that is because the air, the big air, round, big old orifices, like they're huge orifices, bigger than my head, is blowing air. And it also is connected to the room that my manager lives in. And I used to stay in that room when I first moved in. Well, I could hear everything in every other room except for the white girl's room singer. And getting rid of me last night, I called 911 twice. I shake and be on the scene. When they showed up, I said nothing. My health is deteriorating quicker. But the secret ghost community helper, the one that you don't see or that you're scared of, that's me. It's what you don't see. What you do see, a lot of them assume, and then they want that when they don't know what is good. We don't tell everybody everything that we do good, because you do, then they think that Brandon can't share. So I can't. For volunteer work, county, so there I worked as a volunteer. I drive and I volunteer with my street. We were less than an eighth of a mile from just my math don't click in, and so I can't get out of it, and I go through. But then I go through, okay, what can I defend myself with? Or maybe I should just light myself a fire, or maybe I should. All these thoughts, I start talking out. Most of the time I have, oh, there's a puppy coming. I'm live online. It's facing me. Oh, it's a pretty lab. It's a light tan. Oh, how pretty, the boy. So I'll face this way. So walked across a very nice stream through and let the water, because I get sometimes in life. My grandmother told me when I was younger, she said, and when you're moving into a new community, the community should, of course, you could always figure it out on. I actually fought and taught everybody in the United States, you have to take Utah. Do you know what it's like to regain that money? However, I can't live on the street. I go to prison. I lose my Social Security, and then I don't have a will. There's not even a choice in a will to live. I want to live, and I want to keep doing this ghostly care, this community love that everybody wants to share and push for. Come out of your house, look aside of everything. Whatever you hated and you wished he was dead because of, drop it. God did. Jesus did. All of the scholars took their, but you couldn't step up and stand. Daddy, you gotta look on the side when we try to pull this country together, but it's gotta be you and I. It's gotta be you and I. The ghost community helpers have got to be together. You and I. You and I change our destinies. You and I may have went through a lot of things. A lot of things. And I've seen it all. I shit you not. I stayed on a computer from the age of 21 till now. I've been on social media every day. I have ordered food. People deliver food. They deliver pizza. There's nothing I can't get at my house with my debit card and a phone or a computer. There's nobody I can't talk to outside that home. I can talk to you. I can talk to the ones I email. I can talk to the ones I'm in chat with in the video log. I can chat to Omar, the best guy I've seen, and he hasn't put on what I kind of want, but I ain't told him in a vlog, in a video, in his email, short enough to tell him what I want to tell him. Appreciate, and I've got a deal. But you see that too? Those sticks right there, I picked them up. Got out of my wheelchair, walked down here stumbling, crawled down this wire of rocks, and picked up those sticks and put them over there. Now the action looks great, but she looked at me first and made a decision automatically whether or not I should die or not, or whether or not I'm not fit for community, or whether or not my mind is messed up, or judging people. It's not right. You should judge people according to what they do, and a lot of people, they do. They judge with their eyeballs and not with their hearts. People, we're not perfect here. No matter how much I drive to be perfect, no matter how, and that's not much my mind that I can use because of everything that's going on with me, but there's a lot of information and I'll lose it anywhere else. So I'm doing vlogs now, somewhere in a space of internet that saves it forever, whether I die or not. Somebody's gonna watch it. TC is a good blogger, video blogger. Please go and donate to her, because she's got a GoFundMe blog, and she's really trying to get out of a sticky situation, just like me. But she wants to come to the States. She's in England. She don't have the money. I don't have the money to move out of here and take care of myself until I get a full income. It's what it is. But what I'm saying too, what I'm saying, that ought to be a song, right, Omar? What I say, say. Hey, James, what I say. They always are always having fun, so I just want to stick that in there. No editing. Sorry, guys. As a theatric person, if it wasn't for my arm shaking, I think I could pull off anything. And get some teeth so I can actually chatter more intensively. The beauty of this tree, look at that. And it hangs over, there's some water down there, and it's kind of standing, but just over it is this nice little tree hanging and weeping down and feeling the cool air. Just like if you were to take a snow cone and blow it into somebody's face real close. Just like that. Whew. Feels real good. The smell. It's not like Houston. There's not that much smog. It feels nice and crisp because there's water no matter whether it's green or whatever. But as long as it's running, it's able to filter because it's able to get the air and run it under. The top of it is. They may have microscopic stains, but there's many. I'd like to test it for nothing. Nah. But anyway, fun to think of. hands. I could come and bring some kind of a battery, or solar thing out there and let it run and put some fish in along these water runs and have fish in here. Wouldn't that be something? But Austin's working on cleaning up these downtown and all around to make the water run faster and out of Austin to keep Austin from flooding again. So maybe as the ghost community helper of Austin, I'm trying to keep our gutters clean, our water safe, our trees green, the grass green, able to touch with. So thinking you're going to get some kind of toxic stuff that you're going to die from. Come back to some reality and realize that there's something you natural and you don't have to go to the pesticide point. You would hot water. I don't know on there, just a few pieces. The ants will carry it down to the queen. She'll eat it, get some water, and she'll pop, and the rest of them will die or go to another head. And you sprinkle them all over each one of them. I guarantee you, within a couple of weeks, you'll notice they're all going to disappear. And they've all ran to other people's yards, not knowing what they were big too. Yeah, yard. Use grits. You could take grits. Let me tell you this: the ice that stuff to clean it, people, and God is there, and say your prayer, and you're safe at home. But if you have an unbusy mind, you don't have nothing to do with your hands, and you can't talk or be sensible in your brain. I hate that person because it is the devil works in your head. It's evil. It's wrong. So the best things to do for me, and I'm trying to teach other people, is that love is a lot. You share love in many different ways, not just by your spouse, not just because of this or that. You actually can share love by sharing seedlings from your yard, going and doing cuttings, and go up to people and share about your family. Is your kids going to the same school? Try to make that. And even if you're a new person coming in and you feel they're going to feel uncomfortable, so introduce them. Try to make them feel comfortable, so that they don't feel so they don't stop mowing their yard because they're scared to come out in the front yard. Make them feel comfortable to come out in your front yard and make it look beautiful. Make it feel comfortable for people to have nice landscaped yards. That's when you walk into a community or you drive into a community and you can see all these yards and go, oh my God. It's because the neighbors got together and decided, I like my neighbor, so I'm going to beautify it. So when I go out there to see so-and-so, this looks nice and it looks better than his. It looks better than his. But you don't have to do that, but you can take it in your mind so that you can put something else in your yard. And then you could share back with him, and you could joke about how it happened. There's so many things that happens in the world, but first you gotta be the ghost community helper. The ghost community helper, not the like the guy from WWF. Not this, not that, not having it. No. You gotta do it with this. You gotta do it with that. You gotta do it with what you see. And you gotta start looking at what I did. What I've done. Good for the world. That was a fight that started with my boulder. My personal boulder. I started the signing of each of those bills. Lobbied them all over Austin for people to sign. We put enough petitions to take up to the Capitol and forced them to put that into law. That Texas had the first hate crime bill. You could not kill somebody or harm somebody or do something bad to somebody because of them. And there was a separate unit put in the FBI just for that. So it's a federal offense. And hate your neighbor and put your anger. I'm not asking to have a 2-story house or 15 cars and $40,000 job. $1,800 back pay. And I spent it all in one day. One day. Within 8 hours. Poof. Poof. Blown away. But I got drunker than shit on frozen margaritas. Frozen margaritas. After you've gotten to 44, you can actually talk about that. If you're under 21, you have no right to even think about it, because I'll tell you what, it tears down the body, it tears up your liver. Look, I got one foot in the grave. Unless you don't want to be me. What I'm trying to say next, and maybe what I'm dreaming, what my big dream is to do, is to have everybody in the world take this to the nations, the United Nations. Let's sign a united world. Let's unite. The other part of this is that this me at hugalot74@gmail.com. Shoot me a question. I'll put it on here, and I'll also email it back to you. Any question you have, feel free to ask, and I'll give you the